Hello, in this lecture presented by www.free-academy.com, we're going to be practicing combining functions by doing problems 41 and 42 out of the textbook. 41 states we have f of x equal to x squared, and we have g of x equal to the square roots of 1 minus x. And we need to find f of g of x, and we need to find g of f of x. Now, throughout the different practice problems I've done, I've shown a few different ways of illustrating this, but I'm going to go through the easiest and most simplest one for problem 41, and then we'll step up and do the quicker, more efficient ways, but maybe less obvious to the people who aren't familiar with it, for the g of f of x, and then on to problem 42. So we have f of x equal to x squared. If I were to tell you to find f of 4, which is at x equals 4, you would simply put 4 in for x and you would square it. But also, because you're smart, if I asked you to find what f of a is, and you didn't know what a is, you would just write the variable into the equation for x and you would get a squared. So if I were to ask you to write what a plus b is, well, wherever you have x, you would also write a plus b. So we're going to do this exact same thing, only we're going to write g of x in there. And then we can go on and we can write the value of g of x in the equation. And we just found f of g of x. Now we'll want to simplify this. The square root squared is equal to the value, so f of g of x equals 1 minus x if you simplify it. But it's very, very straightforward. You just take the value of g of x and you plug it in wherever you see x in the equation. Now we'll do the exact same thing to find g of f of x. I'll write 1 minus, and I'll put parentheses for where my x is, and then I'll write the value of f of x in there. So this will all equal 1 minus parentheses x squared, all under the square root. 1 minus x squared. And we just found f of g of x and g of f of x for problem 41. Now let's go on and do problem 42. F of x equals the square roots of x minus 3, and g of x equals the square roots of x squared plus 3. So to find f of g of x, we write out the equation of f of x. We'll put g of x in for x. And in the next step, we'll actually substitute the value for g of x in. It's 3. This is minus 3. So, we had f of x. I wrote the equation of f of x, but in place of x, I wrote g of x, which is what we're evaluating. And then in the next step, I wrote the value for g of x in. Now I'll just do a little algebra to simplify. You can see the negative 3 cancels out with the plus 3, and this will give you the square root of x, which is just simply equal to x. And let's do pretty much the exact same thing to find g of f of x. Start off by writing the equation of g of x, replacing x with f of x. Next step, you put in the value for f of x, minus 3 squared plus 3. And once you've done that, you've gotten the answer. So it's just a matter of simplifying at this point. And this is also going to come out in a very simple fashion. The 2 is going to cancel, or the square is going to cancel with the square root, and this will give you the square root of x minus 3 plus 3, which the 3's will cancel, and g of f of x equals the square root of x. So that's our practice problems. We'll be doing some more just in case you need more help with this.